My beloved, throughout your life, you have found yourself in moments of uncertainty, at crossroads that made you question yourself deeply. You've had to make important decisions, some difficult ones, that have shaped the course of your destiny. Every choice you made, even when it seemed complicated, was a step that led you to become the person you are today. In this way, all that you are now is, in large part, the result of each of those paths you decided to walk. At every crossroads, you had to choose saying yes to one thing while, at the same time, saying no to others. The options you left behind lingered, as if they had never materialized. And over time, it's natural that you've wondered how your life would have been if you had made different choices, if the circumstances had been different. You've often wondered what your life would have been like if you had taken another path, if you had chosen a different person, or if you hadn't trusted the one you did. It's normal to think about those moments and question what might have become of you if you had acted differently. However, the reality is that each of those decisions, with its ups and downs, has brought you here. And now, at this very moment, this message is for you. The reason you're receiving it today, right now, is because inside, you're doubting. You're at that point of uncertainty where you need clarity, and this message appears to remind you that everything has a purpose. It's normal to be questioning the decisions you made. You ask yourself, again and again, how everything would have turned out if you had done something differently. Perhaps you imagine how things would have changed, how your life would be if you had followed another path. Reflecting on what you've done so far is okay, because it helps you learn and grow. But it's important to remember that the decisions you made at the time were the best you could have made with the knowledge you had then. It's not wrong to reflect on the choices you've made, as long as you don't get stuck in that. Perhaps, right now, you're focusing too much on the past, regretting what you didn't do, and thinking that your happiness depends on a decision you didn't make. Regret can be heavy, and it's natural to feel pain for what might have been. However, it's crucial to understand something. Yes, your life would have been different if you had taken another path, but the truth is, you don't know how it would have really turned out. You can't predict the future of those decisions, and what matters now is how you choose to live the present. Every decision you made led you down a unique path, and, in turn, it took you away from others. The choices not made, the paths not taken, and the opportunities you let slip by are still there, even though sometimes you may think it's too late for many things. The truth is, it's not. Perhaps you've made decisions you deeply regret, and that voice in your head, the voice of your ego, tells you there's no turning back. But that voice is wrong. If you allow yourself, you still have the power to change many things. Every day is a new opportunity to choose again, to create a version of yourself that is more aligned with what you truly desire. Today, you cannot go back to the past, but you hold in your hands the most valuable thing, the present. This moment is the only thing you can truly control, and it offers you the power to act, to do things differently. The love you didn't express, that person you didn't let into your life, those feelings you kept silent. Yes, if you had acted differently, perhaps things would have been different. But you tend to think everything would have been better, as if the decisions you made were always the worst ones. The reality is, that's not the case. Things would have changed, yes, but not necessarily in a more positive way. Every decision you made brought you to where you are now, and that also has its value. Now and before we continue, I invite you to subscribe and share our channel. Your support helps us to create more valuable content for you. Everything you've lived through so far is okay. Now, you have the opportunity to look forward with wisdom, to learn from the decisions you didn't make. Every step you took, every choice you made, has shaped the person you are today. Somewhere, in some corner of time and space, exist the consequences of those choices you didn't make, the loves you didn't live, the families you didn't form, the reconciliations you didn't experience, and the travels you didn't take. But all of this happened for a reason. The most important thing now is that, no matter what's behind you, you're here today, with the possibility to write the next chapter of your life. Now, with more wisdom and perspective, you have the clarity to act with greater certainty. Your life has been woven, thread by thread, through the decisions you've made, from the smallest to the largest. It's important to realize that it's those decisions that have set the rhythm of your life, leading you down one path or another. If you find yourself constantly thinking about how everything would have been if you had done something differently, that's a sign that something inside you needs to change now. It's time to make new decisions, to act with the certainty that you have the power to create the future you want. You may feel that the path you're on now isn't the right one, that something isn't quite fitting. But right now, you have the opportunity to change your future, to do so through what you decide today. Every decision you make will have a direct impact on your reality. And that is something no one and nothing can change. That's why, instead of being swept away by the current of life and the decisions of others, it's crucial that you take the reins of your own choices. You must understand that, with every decision, you're also letting something go. Often, you focus too much on what you're choosing and forget to think about what you're leaving behind with that choice. It's natural that, as the years pass, questions arise about how your life would have been if you had made different choices. But in the end, what is meant to happen, will happen. What is rightfully yours will come to you in its own time. It's true that your life would have been different if you had always made the best decisions, but you didn't come into this world with all the knowledge. There were many lessons you needed to learn, and even if you don't always see it, you've done so. Every experience, even those that seemed like mistakes, has given you the tools to move forward with greater understanding. If you had respected yourself more, it's likely you would have avoided much suffering. If you had learned earlier to say no, perhaps you would have always done what you truly wanted. But it must be acknowledged that it wasn't easy. You didn't come into this world with everything figured out, knowing how to do everything perfectly. Your mistakes, though painful, were also important lessons. However, if now you look back and can clearly see which decisions truly benefited you and which didn't, then this is the moment to use that wisdom. Take what you've learned and let it guide your future choices. Use that wisdom from the present to avoid making the same mistakes over and over again. You know that some poor decisions have repeated themselves throughout your life, and if, deep in your heart, you feel that things would have been better if you had acted differently, then don't allow yourself to fall into those same patterns again. Learning from what you've lived is a gift, and now you have the opportunity to do things differently, guided by everything you already know. Life will place you in similar situations again, and in those moments, you'll have the chance to make the right choice. The decisions you didn't make still, in some way, affect you. They continue to influence your life and generate doubts within you. But it's important to use those past decisions as a source of inspiration, not as a burden that haunts you and causes you pain. On the contrary, let them propel you to do things more wisely and better this time around. The lessons learned can be the driving force for you to act with more confidence and clarity. You must open the eyes of your soul and realize that life is a school, and you are constantly learning from everything, from all the necessary subjects for your evolution. God, with much love, watches over you when you fall behind, unsure of how to act, whether because you lack strength or because you disconnect directly from Him. He sees how you stumble and struggle through life, trying to learn an important lesson. And remember, those lessons, once learned, are never forgotten, my beloved. Remember that God has infinite love and patience. Now I ask you, are you willing to tune your mind to the melody of success and allow prosperity to flow to you? Today, I have left in the description a powerful tool that will help you and bring you closer to your happiness, peace, and tranquility. I invite you to get to know it. Open the doors to a future where success and prosperity are your daily reality. The opportunity you have today to change your life will never present itself in the same way again. Act today, go for the description and create the tomorrow you deserve. Blessings forever.